Broadcasting live from Houligans Sports Grill on ISB in Daytona Beach, Florida, it's the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show with the Gridiron Gang. Fellas, let's flip the switch and do this. Very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. I'm here, of course, with my co-host, Mr. Ralph Smith, and my other co-host, Mr. Larry Wesley. Guys, how is it going this week? Ralph, we'll get started with you, big guy.
I'm still recovering from the 5 overtime.
I'm with you, Ralph. I'm with
That
you.
actually it shouldn't have been any overtime, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll definitely cover that later. Yeah, definitely. Larry, how's it going, my man?
Not bad at all. Another day, another dollar, another show.
Yes, sir.
And I think we all sort of feel like what Ralph said. So let's flush it, move on, and see if we can do better this weekend, and certainly the following weekend.
Right. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that, Chuck. Chuck said your school showed Southern that you all came to play in 5 overtimes despite the outcome. So, yeah,
I'm about to start early. Let me be quiet.
Don't let him start.
My cynicism fixing to come out early.
So that'll take us right into our SWAC week recap. First off, we had Alabama A&M playing Arkansas Pine Bluff. Alabama A&M 52, Arkansas Pine Bluff 24. I don't think there's any surprises there.
No.
Yeah. Alabama State goes to Grambling. Alabama State 23. Think there's a surprise there.
Well, no, not really, because Alabama State has a problem beating Grambling at Grambling anyway. They haven't won there maybe 8-9 years.
That's true.
But I thought they would get a Grambling team that was a little bit down what happened to them in Daytona.
Yeah.
But Coach Joseph got them up, and they found a way to pull it out.
They did.
So, credit.
Then, as Ralph alluded to earlier, our Wildcats go to Baton Rouge. A busy day in Baton Rouge with our Wildcats playing Southern and with Alabama playing LSU there in Baton Rouge. Final score of that game, 25-23 in 5 overtimes. We'll cover that later, but it was just those overtime rules, man, are a little wicked. Even the referees, he was like, "Hey, after 4 overtimes, it should end in a tie." But
making rules on the go.
He radioed in, and they were like, "No, it keeps on going." And so
I was
that's
in
what happened.
concurrence with him because I didn't want to see any more.
No, man, it's Heartbreak Hotel. Your heart just kind of
just let me go kiss my sister.
up and down. I tell you, but we'll cover that here shortly. FAMU goes to Prairie View. Final score of that game: Prairie View 31, FAMU 12. Crazy. I won't even say ending at the end after the game was over. I don't know if everyone has seen, there have been some fines handed out, $25,000 for each team, with the altercation between FAMU football team and the Prairie View band. And then one player suspended from each school in for the next game.
Give Prairie View their props. They were ready.
They definitely were ready.
This was no joke. They jumped on FAMU like a good hamburger.
Yes.
And they did not let go till they finished.
Okay? That is exactly right. That's exactly right. So, Mississippi Valley State goes to Jackson State. Final score of that game: Jackson State 51, Mississippi Valley State 14.
The Delta Devils playing with a heavy heart.
Yes.
One of their players.
Yes. The day before. That's game, tough.
Right? Really hard. But that's a rivalry type game.
Right.
And, it went about the way you thought it would go.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Then rounding out Texas Southern and Alcorn State. Alcorn State 42, Texas Southern 21.
You know, I just didn't see Alcorn with that much offense when they played against Southern. I mean, it seems that every time they got something going, they stumble or stump themselves. And for them to score 42 on Southern, which I know Southern is Texas Southern is not a great team, but they've been playing very competitive.
Yeah, yeah. I
The SWAC is that bad. It's contagious. Okay?
I agree. I give
It
her
really,
that.
nothing should surprise you about this conference. It's up and down
Is
week
it
to week.
is it the teams who started off at the beginning of the season are starting to find themselves the ones who started off porous at the beginning of the season are starting to find themselves come together, that team unity that we talked about.
Well, it could probably be in
And
that as well.
the teams who started out high, their team unity
Well, they
is
weren't
starting
that
to
good to begin with.
right.
Okay,
This
that's
is
all
true.
it was.
I totally agree with
You
Larry.
know? I mean, I don't know anybody in this league that I would put up high. And,
No.
we're going to find that out at the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely so. So that wraps up our SWAC recap. Then we come to this week for our Pro First Sports Management SWAC week schedule and rankings. First up, playing tonight, Grambling plays Alabama A&M. That's an 8 p.m. kickoff on ESPNU. I'm sure 7 p.m. Where they're playing at. So if you have ESPNU, get ready to tune into that contest tonight. On this Saturday, you have Mississippi Valley State playing FAMU at Bragg. That's a 1 p.m. kickoff. Jackson State is at Alabama State. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff there in Montgomery.
Now that's going to be a very interesting game.
It is. It is. It is.
Now, that one has a chance to get real spicy, as they say.
Yes, definitely.
Both of those two ball clubs play to the whistle and sometimes beyond.
Right. Right.
That's going to be interesting.
Arkansas Pine Bluff goes to Southern. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff there in Baton Rouge on the Bluff. Then we have our Wildcats going out to Houston. That is a 2 p.m. kickoff. I think they kind of scheduled it for 2:30, but a 2:30 p.m. kickoff there in Shell Energy Stadium on Saturday against Texas Southern. We'll cover that shortly. And then Alcorn State goes to Prairie View. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff there in Prairie View, Texas. So a lot of action happening out in the Houston area on this weekend.
I notice a lot of times those games that are slated to start at 2, much like this week, it's about 2:20.
Yeah. It's actual, where they touch total leather, with all the TV and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. FCS computer rankings for this week in the SWAC. Jackson State comes in at 40. They were previously 33. FAMU comes in at 49. They were previously 26. Southern comes in at 70, previously 75. Alabama State comes in at 79. They were previously 66. Prairie View A&M comes in at 92. They were previously 112. Alabama A&M comes in at 96. They were previously 95. Alcorn State comes in at 97. They were previously 102. Then we have Grambling State comes in at 98. They were previously 109. And then Texas Southern comes in at 108. They were previously 103. Our Wildcats come in at 116. They were previously 113. And Arkansas Pine Bluff comes in at 118. They were previously 119. And then Mississippi Valley State comes in at 129. And they were previously 129. As far as the SWAC football standings, Jackson State 6-0 in conference, 8-2 overall. Alabama State 4-2 in conference, 5-4 overall. FAMU comes in 3-2 in conference, 5-4 overall. Alabama A&M comes in at 2-3. They're 4-5 overall. Our Wildcats come in at 2-4, 2-8 overall. Mississippi Valley State comes in at 0-6. They're 0-10 overall. In the West, Southern comes in at 5-1. Overall, they're 6-4. Alcorn State comes in at 4-2. Overall, they're 5-5. Prairie View A&M comes in at 3-3. Overall, they're 5-5. Grambling State comes in at 2-4 overall. They're 5-5. Texas Southern comes in at 2-4 overall, 3-6. Arkansas Pine Bluff rounds it out at 2-4 overall. They are 3-7. And so that wraps it up, guys, for SWAC. So, let's talk a little bit about NIL and what's happening across the country. And it's just, I saw a write-up the other day. They were talking about, I guess, Dion, something next year he'll have like almost $20 million in NIL to bring into Colorado. And there's a lot of guys, I will say, this week who have, went on the chopping block or went on the chopping block as coaches, assistants at Florida State. 3 were let go. The offensive coordinator, this is the off week for them, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and the wide receiver coach.
But make no mistake about it, Daryl, I think that there's a conspiracy theory. And that was never more evident than watching First Take. They're trying to find a way to get Dion out of Colorado. They want him in the NFL. Because Dion is gathering the forces to fight a war. You hear me?
Yeah, he is.
And they know that.
He is.
They know that. Because once he gets all of his Louis Vuitton luggage in there, it's going to be a problem.
Big time problem.
Really is. And his alma mater, it couldn't happen to a better school. They burned his jersey and everything else. Boy, let me tell you what. It's an uphill climb from the bottom to the top. And Florida State's going to have to find a way to dig out of it.
They're going to have to find a big way, and don't see the end of the road.
But the other big news in NIL, Michigan is trying to flip the LSU commit, and they offered him $2.6 million a year.
Yeah, over who's LSU, wasn't it?
LSU, yeah. But listen, that's not the big fish. The big fish is Juju.
Yeah.
The quarterback out of Georgia who had committed to USC. And Colorado is entertaining some overtures from him right now. So if Dion starts bringing that level of Louis Vuitton in there, look out. And nobody in major college wants to see a magnet like Dion bringing that kind of talent.
No. It was, everyone felt that it was huge when he took Travis away from Florida State,
they haven't seen anything yet.
No.
That was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. He had to get to a place like Colorado for it to really, sting bad for you.
Just look at what happened right here in our hometown with Christian Hutchinson.
Yes.
He
was committed to UCF.
And now he's going out to Colorado Boulder with Prime.
Yep. Yeah.
You better hurry up and get old Prime to the Dallas Cowboys.
And then you got, a lot of people are saying that the effect out there is the Warren Sapp effect.
Oh, no doubt about it. So can you imagine when you start getting that Colorado front right now is no joke.
Yeah, it is.
But when you start getting those dogs in there, like he calls them, those hunting dogs, and he starts getting those big offensive linemen, those road
hog mileage, yeah.
But they're going to be something to deal with.
And, we talk about all this, and I know we kind of bounced around with it, but the end result, or what we're talking about, the main staple of it is NIL.
That's what it is.
All day.
You could dodge it, but it's there.
All day. You know what I'm saying? You could.
I love you guys mentioning NIL. I just simplify it. Pay to play, baby. Pay to play. Pay to play. In the hood, that's what it's called.
That's what it
Pay
is.
to play.
That's what it is,
Show
man.
me the
We got, man, we just sent something out yesterday where we got 42,000 in
Wow.
Just yeah, 42,000 in.
So what, if anything, the school NIL is doing? Have they done anything thus far?
I have no idea, Ralph. I know they
So
ain't.
is that just name? Just name?
Well,
Just we got an NIL.
I
First show.
I think the only people you could probably ask that question to is the basketball team about that one.
Boy.
I can only speak to the one I know we're personally involved with, and I know they're probably about 36,000 short of that. So, yeah. So, but yeah, NIL is ruling the world. If you think you're going to get away from it, you're not going to get away from it.
Nope.
You know, it's what it is. You know, if you're a business, you got to get behind it or do your best to get behind it. It's ruling high school football. It's definitely, college ball. So, like you just said, Ralph, if that gentleman takes Michigan's offer, right? Let's just say LSU doesn't come back to the table and negotiate, which they're telling him to weigh that option. He could get, what is it? I think it's $20 million, right? So what was it? It was 3.5 million per week or something like that.
No, not per week.
Or it was per year. I'm sorry,
year.
per year while he's there. Yeah, while he's there, 3.5 million per year. So
Are you telling me this system is supposed to survive with this nonsense going on?
No, it won't.
You got to be kidding
It's
me.
not going to survive.
You got to be kidding me, man.
It's going to explode.
No possibility.
Yeah, it won't. At the way they have it structured now, there's no way it can survive.
It'll survive. And the reason that I'm saying it'll survive because you're pretty much taking the same model from the NFL and you don't have a salary cap now. So basically, hey, if my company with these billionaires can afford to give it out,
Well, I say survive. You're going to always have your heavy hitters.
Right.
But the system is not going to survive.
That's what I'm talking
college
about.
football.
System.
I'm not talking about the big dogs.
Right.
They were doing this already, Daryl. You know that.
We talked about it a little bit before the show.
They were paying under the table.
This is nothing new. This has been going on for a while.
How you know, Ralph?
It was paying under the table.
Good handshakes, huh?
And the wink.
Yeah. Meet me in the alley.
But I'm with Larry though. I mean, the way it's structured now, what's going to happen? You're only going to have maybe 20 teams playing because other teams can't compete. So they're going to all drop down to the lower level, and then the guys that at the lower level are going to drop down another level.
Well, I mean, we're seeing it right now with the 12-team playoffs. Are you watching these weekly rankings?
Yeah,
they're doing so much to try to make this all the Big Ten SEC invitation. They don't want anybody else.
Yeah, nobody else.
They don't want anybody else in it.
That's where it's
They're
going.
just playing games.
That's where it's going.
And we know that.
I mean, it's almost like a gift for Miami to lose Saturday. Because Miami was kind of screwing that thing up.
Oh yeah, they gonna get what they want. And you mark my word, some 3-loss team is gonna get in.
Of course.
Yeah.
From the SEC or the Big Ten.
No doubt about it.
It is.
I mean, there's a reason that all the West Coast teams left that conference
and traveling 2,000
miles
a week. Yeah.
All you got to do is follow the money.
Well, if you don't have a seat at the table, you can't get in. Okay.
No,
and your conferences, we saw what happened to Florida State last year. They did everything they're supposed to do, and they still got bumped.
Yep. Guys, let's go to this heartbreaker, man. 5 overtimes. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
They need to bring me something more to drink.
Something stronger, my boy.
I've wiped this first thing out.
So our Wildcats go on the road to Baton Rouge, A.W. Mumford Stadium. Hold the lead for the majority of the game. Of course, we come out, we defer. Ransom starts the game and finishes the game, and then we saw Tyleek Bethea come in to relieve down by the end zone. We have a chance, numerous chances to put the ball in the end zone and win this game in regulation. And so I'll just leave it right there, and then I'll let you guys. Remember, this is a no-holds-barred show. Take it away, guys.
As we said time and time again, that it's not a doubt. Bethune has talent, and they have plenty of talent. But our problem is it's the headset. And all we needed to do Saturday is put them kids in the right position, and that wouldn't have even been a game for us. We could have just ran Southern out of their own stadium. But for some reason, our offense tend to always want to go for the home run. I mean, for some reason, they don't like doubles and singles. They want to go for the home run. And it just puts us in tight spots. And I thought the defense really showed up Saturday. But again, the headsets.
I don't know where to begin to approach this. I had gotten over this Saturday, and knowing that we would have this show this evening,
I bust that sore right back open.
Just the idea of having to deal with this again is painful, to say the least. I'm so happy that this game was not available to the general public.
Yeah.
I'm so happy the vast majority of Wildcat Nation didn't have to watch this, because if they had, I'm watching the comments where people were saying, "Oh, we went 5 overtimes. We competed. We're doing this. This is not about moral victory.
Nah.
This is not about that. It's not about everybody gets a prize. It's about winning and losing. It's about showing progress, etc." And so I say that because no one needs to ever second guess the players we have on this team.
No.
These kids deserve a formal apology from the coaching staff, especially on the offensive side.
Right. The craziest thing for me, being there and standing right there, especially on the 4th and 1 from the inch line, was the whole stadium knows that you're about to run a quarterback sneak.
No doubt about it.
Whole stadium knows.
No doubt about it.
I got it on video right here. So the whole stadium knows you're running a quarterback sneak. I don't mind you lining up under center. Line up under center. But what's outside if everybody stops stacked in the box? Nobody's out there. You got to beat me to that pylon to stop me from getting in. We got no movement on there right where he...
We speculate every week. We know what we're going to get. This shouldn't surprise anybody. What is the definition of insanity? The same thing over and over. What have we seen? Let's be honest. You just got to call it what it is. So that's why I said earlier, these kids deserve an apology. But you knew what, when they lined up. First of all, put it in perspective. Daryl, we scored a touchdown. The tight end fell in the end zone.
Right.
That was a touchdown.
Right.
That was a touchdown.
Right.
It didn't have to be on the 1, but the SWAC officials do what they do. They place it on the 1. Half of his body was in the end zone with the football. They placed it on the 1. Once it went to the 1, I knew we weren't going to get in. I knew that. In fact, I started saying, kick the field goal. Give me some points. I'd rather take the points there than to trust what our offensive coordinator is going to run. I got a chance to get a short 3. I'll take the 3 any day with our offensive staff. And so, therefore, we missed a golden opportunity. But that played itself out throughout the entirety of the game.
Yes, it did.
That was just one sequence. So
it surely did, because when we got back to even late in the game with the interception by Volmar, heck of an interception. To bat the ball away and still come down with it, and that was 50-yard line-ish. All you do
you set up right there to take your time and bleed the clock and get down in field goal position.
They have not picked up that tight end screen the whole game.
Nope.
I mean, you get 5 yards each time, and they're scared to tackle them big dudes.
What did we say last week? We had a mismatch at the tight end. We listen, guys, we need to be getting paid for this, okay? I mean, we here every Thursday.
Telling them exactly how to game plan it. But when you don't coach from a script,
I don't think I think you got to go into the game with options. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody in the SWAC know if you get on the 1 yard line, Bethune-Cookman's going to try to run a quarterback sneak. Everybody knows that. If you look at the lineup, when they got ready to run that, the two guys on Southern left side, they was already crushing in.
Yes.
They knew you wasn't going to change up. They knew what you were going to do, and we did exactly what they knew we were going to do.
Well, here's the thing, guys. You'd be hard-pressed to find 3 other guys who've seen as many practices as we've seen.
Yeah.
And so when the game went overtime, I knew we were done.
I did too.
Because we don't practice anything regarding gadget plays.
Situations.
We don't do any of that. We don't do any of that. We go through all these periods, but I don't understand how any coach or coaching staff goes into a football game and not have them a couple of plays in their pocket.
Especially against a team like that who just won a game the week before, as pretty much his time expired.
Exactly.
So they know how to last with you. And then who didn't know, and I can't fault the defense. They kept getting put out there, but we knew they were going to run off tackle every time. It was either going to be left or right. Like,
every time.
Where is somebody?
And we never adjusted.
Never adjusted to it, man.
And I think Southern started laughing at us.
Well, the commentators were having a good time.
Of course.
Literally. I mean, I remember we had been down there so many times, and they said there's a reason why Bethune-Cookman is 8th or 9th in red zone efficiency in this conference. They moved the ball, but they just can't get it in. And so that's why I say from now on, when we get down there, and if it's 4th down, I don't care if we're on the inch line. Kick the field goal.
Yeah, take
I
the
don't
points.
trust our coordinator to call anything that's going to get us in the end zone. Take the points. Give me 3.
I mean, this is the thing that bothers me when and I'm not talking down about Mississippi Valley State. Not talking down. Prayers to Mississippi Valley State for what they're going through in the loss of the player, but they even ran their quarterback off tackle.
Listen, and ran it well.
For big boy.
Yeah.
We don't even practice that.
No, I mean, I'm just, I join you guys tonight, but I'm not going to take an extra dose of blood pressure medication tonight. I'm not dealing with that. This is not that important to me for that to happen. No.
But not with this coaching staff anyway.
No.
I mean, anytime you're in a tight game, you get scared because they aren't going to do the right thing. I don't know what script they're playing off of, but they aren't going to do what you expect they're going to do.
But the theme for this team or this coaching staff, expect the unexpected. Okay. Yeah, because we in normal situations, we're not going to do what most people would do. We're going to do something entirely different, and whatever that is that we typically do, it's going to be the same thing we do all the time. That's what we've seen.
I don't even know if I don't even know if both teams do the overtime rule.
Listen,
how often do you play overtime in this SWAC?
But you got
Yeah, they changed the rules because of the game Bethune-Cookman and those.
Right, 7 overtimes. Right.
So now you literally have to
we came just short 2 of them.
Right. You literally have to go for 2 points.
Right after the first
one. Right?
yeah.
They're trying to end these games early. But the reason I said I didn't have any faith with us, because I know the closer we are to the goal, the harder it is for us to score.
It is. We
Let's
get
be
in
honest.
up.
We get totally in up.
In regulation, you couldn't get it in,
No.
but you know.
Now you're gonna miraculously pull this out in overtime? But please, I don't think so.
And then let's go to the end, and then we'll get into our grading. Guys, they score on their conversion, right?
Yeah.
And it's worth 2 points. Yep. So at that point in time, it's 25-23 in the fifth overtime. What play would you have called? We're already in shotgun, right? I mean, we were back in shotgun. So you're back 3 to 5 yards behind the ball, right?
Yeah, you're away from the ball, that ball automatically. You're in the gun. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm taking the quarterback around the end, and if they come up on him, he pitches it out to the running back. Touchdown.
Or RPO it.
That's what I was going to run.
RPO it. You go out there, and then what does everybody run across against us?
Crossers.
There you go. Drag somebody across there. If I get in trouble, I could, like Ralph said, I can either pitch it back.
I could run somebody in motion across the formation, but don't bring him all the way across. Have him stop, go back the other way, and we go to that side. Now I've overloaded that side formation. I got to run. I got a two-way go. I got a quarterback who can challenge the line of scrimmage, or I can get it out to the slot guy and let him take it in. Literally, just creativity. That's basically all you're talking about.
And that's one of the things that offensive coordinators, that's how they make their money, being creative and coming up with the unexpected.
Perry, my man, you guys were the number one team in the West. You shouldn't have had to go into 5 overtime with the little cats.
I don't even know why Perry's even talking. I really don't. I really don't. God bless you.
Y'all got out of there with much prayer, boy.
God bless you. You know. I mean, both of them teams should have been trying to fly as low under the radar as they could.
Yes, indeed. But man,
but really, that's the way our season has gone. That's stress.
It is
stress for the fans. I'm not quite sure what the coaching staff's going through. It doesn't seem like the team is getting better. Coaches look like it's not. It's the same place it was the first game we played this season.
On the offensive side of the ball, I will say the defense has picked it up to play better, to keep us in games. But even and I know we'll get to it.
They're going to have to win.
No, we were already, Perry. That was last year when we started that. He's talking about getting rid of the OC. He don't understand. We've been in this season. Oh boy!
And I've followed flag football for years.
Right.
In fact, there's a young guy. He's an older guy now. He married into our family. He is the grandson of Arnett Ace Mumford, the legendary coach at Southern. So I'm fully invested in Southern.
Right.
That Southern football team I saw Saturday. Now I hearken to see what Coach Mumford would say at that product on the field. They won, give them credit, no doubt about it. But that's not Southern football.
No. And like you said, not to take anything away from them, but when you have a gun and you've never, been trained to use it, you might shoot yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened. That's what happened to those Wildcats. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't shoot. We shot ourselves more than once.
Self-inflicted, baby.
Self-inflicted wounds. I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
That's just where our season is gone.
Very painful to watch.
Like I said 3 weeks ago, we got the talent. Talent is not our problem.
Yeah. Cam Ransom finishes that game 23 of 36 passing for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran the ball 13 times for negative 24 yards. That was just those sacks that he took. Dennis Palmer rushed 19 times for 84 yards in the score, which was in the overtime. Thomas Nance, game high, 6 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Unguardable.
Yes. Him and
Unguardable.
Velez. Yeah. Him and Velez. Justine Clark, big reception in the end zone for a touchdown late in the game to bring us back knotted up. Big Saturday for Dallas Corbett on the day. Came off the edge and wreaked havoc. As I said, man, our defense holds those guys till late in the game, scoreless. Which, I mean, they're going to score points. They're going to score points. It's just our job to score more than them. So yeah. Big day, Anthony Frederic averaged 52.8 yards punting on the day.
Great job.
As you know, we have always seen he has very much had a consistent season of punting. Very consistent. So. Team stats on the day. Total yards, Bethune-Cookman 309, Southern 397. Passing yards, Bethune-Cookman 243, Southern 164. Rushing, Bethune-Cookman 66, Southern 233. Penalty yards, this is where it comes up big.
Yep.
This is where, we talk about discipline. You don't see our players running in the stands, fighting nobody. You don't see them fighting on the field. 4 penalties for 25 yards. Southern 9 for 84. So you won that battle, which we talked about. That was a big battle to win, as they were a heavily penalized team coming into this contest. First downs, Bethune-Cookman 25, Southern 22. Third downs, Bethune-Cookman 6 for 15, Southern 6 for 14. Fourth down conversions, both teams 0 for 1. Time of possession, Bethune-Cookman 36 minutes, 1 second, and you lost the game 25-23. Southern, 23 minutes, 59 seconds.
I mean, where do you lay the blame? It's not a blame game, but you can only lay it one place.
Well, I mean, if your defense kept you 3-0 the whole game.
For the whole half.
And that we know where it goes. We know where it goes. It just doesn't, to have the talent that we had. One of the Southern fans was like, "Man, you guys have a big football team," and that's in stark contrast to what we think. But that's somebody who's a big Southern fan telling us that you guys have what it takes. It's just.
Well, we have what it takes in talent, but we lack it in other areas. Yeah, we have the talent, and we've been saying that for the last 6 weeks. But
2 years.
Where our downfall is the guys with the headset. I mean, they seem like they are coaching somewhere else.
That would be a great thought.
Guys, let's go into this grade, man, and we're going to include the headsets with the plan. Let's go. Fans, join in with us. We're going to start our offense, quarterbacks, players, headsets.
I'm going to give the quarterback a C+, and I'm going to give the headset a D-. And the reason I'm actually grading him higher than the quarterback is higher than I really wanted to.
He had some yards.
He has some yards, but he takes an awful lot of sacks that he shouldn't have to take.
Yeah.
I think he has a tendency to hold the ball a little bit long. So that's why I'm giving him a C+. He did move the team, but I think he can be a lot better.
Okay.
I'm giving him a C because, as I said last week, it's feast or famine with him. You got to learn to play the position of quarterback. and he's got some physical attributes about him, but he's got to match that up, with the middle side of the football game because you can't take those losses. Your team is not good enough to overcome that down and distance on a consistent basis. So he moved the football. His stats, looking at them on the paper, they look like a great day. But in the end, he killed a lot of our drives also by holding that football.
Yeah, stats is a big liar. Stats always been a big liar.
It really is.
Yeah.
I can't give the headsets anything but an F. Okay, that's where I am. So anything on the offensive side, you don't have to ask me anything else about headsets on the offensive side for this game. F for every category you got for them. So
there you go.
All right, let's go running backs. Ralph.
I'm going to give our running back. I'm going to give him a C as well. I think personally we run him too much on the wrong down. I mean, everybody in Louisiana know we're going to run him on the left side the first play of every series. Everybody knows that. So they just stack up and wait for it. So it's not his fault, but I'm going to have to give him a C because he does have the ball in his hand.
Headset.
F.
The player.
Running back, I give him a C plus. He runs hard. He runs where where the player is designed to go. He's really having to create his own hole. By himself, by himself. But he's not getting any help. Can you imagine him with a creative offensive coordinator? Oh my goodness, it'd be scary.
Let's go wide receivers / tight end.
I'm going to give my wide receivers and tight end. I'm giving them a B plus because I think they were the difference maker in that particular contest, and I think that we should go to our offensive tight ends more often. I think that really they should be a primary focus on that team.
Do you feel we went away from that during that game?
We did. That's the thing that really bothered me.
You think?
That's the thing. I hate the way he asked that question. Do you think? Knowing damn well we did.
Yeah, I mean, very, very nicely done with the condensation.
Yeah, I was just watching that game, but I said, you know what? We're going to go away. This working too good. We're not going to stick with this, and we didn't stick with it. We went away from it.
Again, that is the one mismatch that we have in every ball game we've played so far against opponents our size. That's a nightmare. And why? We can see this, but the brain trust on that offensive side can't see it. I don't understand that. It's almost like we're sabotaging. We're playing. Are we in the NFL? Are we trying to lose to get a draft pick or something? Are we tanking?
Because I just think it's what we've always known about the particular play caller.
Yeah, well, but why not play to your strengths?
I mean,
I got a perfect segment to that, if I could call it a segment. What's the difference between D3 and D1 AA?
Size and speed.
Not the defensive end.
Size and speed.
So it's what Luke said when he was on the show.
Size and speed.
So I asked that kind of being cynical because Larry said play to your strengths. But if you don't know what your strength is.
But listen, how much more of this do we have to,
Well, you see it every week. And I'm saying, yeah.
So I just feel like we're being redundant.
We're being pumped.
Literally. We come every week.
We say the same
every week. We're saying the same thing. Do we need to tune some of these people who are in the press box into our conversation? I don't know. Because we come back and we go over the same thing every week.
Every week. Just like
It seems like the defense is listening.
But I'm talking offensively right now. The defense has made some progress. But guess what?
We gonna dial into them coach comms.
You eventually will turn them off.
Right.
You know, because they're out there playing their heart out and they're holding the other team. But they're giving us great field position. We do nothing with it.
Nothing.
And I mean to stay positive.
Yeah.
But how much you can't just sit there and lie about it. You see it.
Well, we love football too much to coddle it. You know, you want to be positive, but it's also like common sense too. Where
you
it's
think
like
again, common sense is not as common.
I'm gonna have to tell it, bro. Do you understand? We do this show with a professor.
It's not as common as you think. Okay,
common sense really. Now he's right, though,
it's really not that common.
Common sense really is not that common. I don't even know why they call it common sense.
I went to the polls a few weeks ago with common sense. Okay,
that ain't the result.
No. You know, so we use that very loosely. But I mean, really and truly, guys, somewhere, somehow, this has got to get back to the people that matters most to, the folks who call in the game.
I think half of it is and half of it's not.
Okay.
What half you think's getting there?
The half that's helping you hold the team to low points.
Oh,
he even showed his face here, to show that he's been listening.
I really don't know where else to how else to talk about it. There's 2 more games left. You know, Jerry woke up Saturday morning and shot a text early.
He did.
And I didn't mean to burst his bubble. You know, I just really, said to him, almost like Nostradamus, and my words proved to be prophetic, because I said, that sounds good, but we got one problem.
You heard me though,
And
Larry.
it starts with OC.
I had driven all night to get into bed.
I felt bad because I remember you at one point you said you were 20 minutes away from the stadium. And I said, oh my goodness.
So we'll see.
But I mean, I know Jerry felt that. He said, I have no reason to feel this way, but I just feel like we're gonna win today, And I thought I would, just kind of
no comment, Perry White. So let's go offensive line.
C-. They give up 5-6 sacks.
Yeah.
But again, some of those were really not on him.
I know. I get it. I get it.
Listen, I was watching First Take this week, one of those ESPN shows, and they were talking about the quarterback who was the first round draft choice, the number 1 pick out of USC for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, what's his name?
Williams, Caleb Williams.
Yes.
And so they were saying, Jeff Saturday was saying, is he regressing? And in the NFL, you can't run around like you're on the playground in the NFL or like you do in college. You will run into one of those gorillas.
And that's the thing, especially that last play that we had, that had to be a decisive play. And that had to be a play where you pretty much left the quarterback no decision. This is where it's going. You got to get to it now, because what do they have to do? We got one play to get in that end zone, or it's over.
And the idea is this: we're starting 3 offensive linemen that are freshmen.
Yeah.
The one thing that should be said in our locker room to our offense, especially quarterback: 1, 2, 3, ball comes out.
Got to.
1, 2, 3, it comes out. They say it in the NFL. You can't hold it. And Cam sometimes holds it like he's holding a baby. You like he got all day. You got to get it out your hand, young man.
Those guys can only block for so long. I
Literally.
mean, come on.
Yeah, but okay, I agree with what you said, Larry. However, you would think that your offensive coordinator knows that weakness of that particular individual, and he doesn't call plays like that. I mean, it's about knowing your personnel, what they're good at and what they're not so good.
But Ralph, that's teaching. That's all that is. And most coaches